When you're thinking about addiction, we tend to think of hardcore drugs, but actually it's all the process. All the process is exactly the same, isn't it? So you could be addicted to sugar or chocolate or smoking or drinking or porn. It's something that you just fall into. And once you're there, you're kind of unaware of how quickly it becomes all consuming. And so if we think of the example of, say, I always think of like the moment you go into that Pringles tube, you can be thinking, oh, I'm just going to have one, and before you know it, you're at the bottom of the tube and you weren't even aware of it. And then every time you see those Pringles, you're back there wanting to have another tube. And sugar addiction is the same. You know, I always remember one of my trainers, she said sugar is like crack cocaine because, you know, you just can't stop. So we get these chemical effects in our body, and then because we're getting those effects, we find ourselves just totally focused on that one thing, and it leaves us no room to understand what we really need and what it's replacing, and even how much strength we have in order to quit, because we've been affected by the chemical, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be cocaine, that's just one example. It could be biscuits, it could be ice cream. Yeah, ice cream. So when you're thinking about quitting whatever it is, that habit, binging, and you want to get into a healthy mindset, you can. So although it seems impossible at the moment, and here's a really interesting process you can go through right now, which is something that would be covered in therapy with me. When I say the words to you, you can quit, what immediately happens as I say that? Do you get a little voice in your head that says, no, I'm just always going to be this way? If you're binging, no, I can't, I can't get out of this pattern. If you're not achieving your weight, no, I'll never get there. I'm just, I'm built this way. So that dialogue is part of the process of recovery, actually, because that's a part of you that's, for one reason or another, at this moment, thinks it's protecting you. So it's fascinating once you get to understand the process that you're going through. By collaborating with me, it's not just that you quit this one thing, it's that you get to understand the way you tick fully, and that you can translate what you've learned into everything you do in the future. And you'll see from my previous video that I said you should write down your goals, because we don't really. I write down my goals all the time, and I tell you, that's the difference between me going into the day a complete clusterfuck, not having, apart from the appointments, not having that real clear mindset. I have my appointments and I'm very focused on those, but if I go into the day without the other bits sorted out, it's not a great day. So writing down your specific goals helps you understand yourself, and it helps you get in the right mindset. And you can always then understand the process of going through these steps you're going through. And you'll be able to see the person that you really want to be. You'll be able to see clearly your future, and you'll be able to attain it. So it's just this process of working out this part that's getting in the way, and working with that and finding out what need it's meeting, and then moving on from that. I read a lot and I study a lot, and over again what comes up is the trust issue with the therapist. So there is that fear that the therapist is going to, especially hypnotherapists, you're going to lose control, and you're going to be made to do something really dodgy, or reveal secrets, or fall asleep and not wake up. So there are all these myths, because they are myths. And the other one is that it's the ability to actually say, yes, I have a problem, and trust your therapist enough, and not feel like the therapist is looking down on you. Believe me, therapists are there because they've been through their own shit. So that instead of thinking that they are looking down on you, or are, not on the same level, they always are. Well, not always, but, most of the therapists I know are in this game because they really damn care about their clients, and have all been through loads and loads of stuff themselves. So that's why they're doing their job. So if you are worried about falling asleep and not waking up, talking to random trees or fire hydrants, or losing control, or revealing secrets, or being looked down upon, or any of these things, what you should do is just state that straight away. Are you going to turn me into something strange? Or am I going to fall asleep? Am I going to lose control? You can ask all those things. That's the job of the therapist, is to make sure you feel the most comfortable and the most listened to and the most understood. And from that point, it's a collaboration, but it's not a lifelong collaboration. It should be, a minimal amount of sessions to get you to where you want to be. So if you've reached that point where you really have had enough, and maybe you have got these voices saying, no, I can't do it, I think you can. I really think you can. You can book in for a consultation, a free chat on samanthakemптherapy.com, or you can message me here, because you'll know if it's the right time. You'll know if you've reached that point where you just want to change, you want to be free of whatever addiction it is. And write down your goals. Do write down your goals. By writing down, it makes it much more concrete, and it starts the process. And you should be able to have some fun with it, because you find out so much about yourself. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening.